Hi, welcome to Love Table Talk. I am here with Beverly and Jacob, who happen to be a couple. Yeah, we are here to talk about passion, romance, and everything in between. How are you guys, Bev and Jacob?
I'm doing
It's
It's
great. Thanks.
cold.
it's cold.
It's
I
cold.
understand. Yes, yes. I hope you guys
Well,
are relaxed.
well, first of all, I just want to say thank you, Epiphany, for just inviting us and just here to be a part of this witness and part of this dream of yours. And
Oh,
I'm doing great. It is cold though.
yeah,
It's
it's
cold
cold.
here in
Yes.
California.
Right, right. Yes. And
Mm.
I thank you guys for being a part of it. I had this thought like probably like November, December to talk about passion and what it like entails, like what it means. And I knew I wanted to be out for Valentine's Day, talk about love and romance and the sex. And I'm the single one here. Um, but I love romance. Like I just love love in like the whatever form it comes in. And so it's so nice to have you guys. So, how long have you guys been a couple?
We today is 9 months.
Oh,
9 months.
beautiful. Well, happy
Exactly
anniversary.
today. The
Exactly.
12th.
Wow,
Exactly
happy
to the 12th.
anniversary, February the 12th. The 12th is a very symbolic day, and I'm not just not saying that because I was born on the 12th day, but it's like it's a very like completed number, whole number. So that means you guys are probably gonna get married and have kids because it's like the 12th is symbolic of that. So it's just
And 12 donuts make a dozen. It's a
hello.
dozen eggs.
Right, exactly. I didn't know about that. Yeah. So hello, perfect all around. So what do you guys feel about passion in relationships?
Mm. I would say it's definitely something you feel
Mhm.
and not something you actively like. You don't go around and be like, you know what? How can I make this relationship be passionable?
Mhm.
Like you don't do that. You just
Right.
just you just
Yeah.
don't do that. You
Yeah.
you do you do it like honestly you have to figure out what they like and
Right.
then go off from there. Make it I guess you could give it a synonym to romantic in a
Mhm.
way. I
Okay.
would say that.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
think similar to Jacob, I think it's all about the connection,
Mhm.
right? I think before passion has that strong connection, whether it's like intellect or emotional or physical or even spiritual, right? I think that's where it starts. And
Mhm.
passion is like the sense of drive that
Mhm.
you have to either to connect in
Mhm.
that relationship. And so I think before passion, there's somewhat of a connection that builds into that relationship.
Right, right. And do you think making your partner feel seen and heard, do you think showing your partner that you admire them in a sense? Because here's my thought, right?
Hmm.
I think I whoever my partner is, I would like to have a healthy admiration for them. Like a healthy like wow, like you inspire me to be better or to do better or to think better or to, do something better than maybe I would, not have, normally done as a single. Um but to make me like think in a different way. And I hope I would do that for my partner as well. Like a healthy like admiration, not like nothing crazy where like, but just a healthy dose of like, wow, like you inspire me to do better, to think better. What do you guys think about that? Do you guys think that's a positive? It could be a positive relationship or it could just be like downhill.
Mm. I will say, when I heard you say that, it's kind of like respect thing too.
Mhm,
Respect
mhm.
thing. Like there's couples out there right now that don't even respect each other.
So true.
And that's like the basics. Like the
Right. Yes.
basic thing you could do
That
is
is so
respect.
true.
Like people forget like please and
Right.
thank you and
Right.
stuff like that. And admiration is something that admiration I would say is something in like a definition if we're to define it, something you appreciate for someone because you know you would not do it would take you a lot of effort to do what they do, I would say. That's why it's admiration. You admire that of them. Like if someone's kind,
Right.
someone's kind to a telemarketer, you're like, I admire you for that because I wouldn't, I wouldn't, or
Right. Yeah,
whatever it
you
may
would give
be.
affection. Right.
So I would think admiration is very accurate, very good, very something you should strive for, even if you've been together 1 year, 10 years, whatever. There's something
Right.
always to admire.
Exactly. That is so true. Yep, I believe that as well. And like you said, like comes down to a respect thing. Like a lot of people, there's the saying is that the people that are closest to you, you treat the worst or something
Worse,
like
yeah,
that,
worse,
you know,
exact
and
worse.
it's like I heard the saying like, well, treat me like I'm a person on the street, like treat me like you never going to see me again if you know, if that's how you just have it always in your mental that I'm a stranger, well, not like I guess a stranger if it's going to
No,
take
no,
that.
treat me like I'm someone you need something from. Like like
You dang
I'm
right.
the DMV employee and you need like your ID done like right now. You
Exactly.
gotta
Like
treat
be
me
like the
good.
nicest ever. Like, or like I'm at the
Exactly, yeah.
grocery store and I'm like, oh God, your light is about to close, but please, let me please.
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah,
yeah.
wow. That is really true because then you really like draw like you said, like respect and like you have like, oh my gosh, I really, I admire you. I really need you to,
Exactly, yeah.
yes. So that is so true. Do you think you can have a sexless relationship or marriage? Sexless marriage, I would say, and still be
Since I
happy.
answered the last one, I will live believe.
I do believe that it is possible. I think it just depends on the needs of a couple,
Right.
right? Where do they find their satisfaction?
Hmm.
So it's hard for me, I think it's hard to speak because I have met couples who are married for like 20 years and who don't have sex, but they
Right.
have a form of connection where just even
Hmm.
their presence is just like
Hmm.
they feel satisfied just
Hmm.
being with them, you know? And even with dating, I think
Hmm.
sometimes we use sex as a drive to connect, and
Hmm.
I believe that there's so many other ways that you can connect with a person without it. But
Right.
it does build a beautiful
Yes.
physical, intimate passion when
Hmm.
you do have that,
Exactly.
you know, intimate,
Right.
intimate moment with them. So I
Exactly.
do think it's possible for sure.
And I was going to draw on that, like you said, like married couples that that draw from like other forms of, just intimacy. But I've heard this, through the grapevine. If you experience like the highest level of non-physical intimacy with somebody, that usually kind of makes you want to experience the physical aspect of being with the person that you know, experience like the high emotional, like intelligence or high love, high, first of all, attraction, because definitely like you can't, without attraction, you would think not, but there are a lot of people who do have sex without being like physically attracted to somebody. And do you think that's possible?
Whoa,
Yeah.
what? That's the first time hearing that. What the heck?
So don't you do you think that? I think there are people that have sex with somebody they're maybe not physically attracted to. And I think women do it more than men. Because I think women would have sex with a man they're not physically attracted to, but they're treated right in all other areas. You think?
Mm.
I think that. I think I
Uh,
really
okay. Uh, I would. That's so odd. That's so weird. I would assume it's because of emotional, right? Let's say they're not attracted to him, but they're not attracted to them, but they treat them right. They think of them a lot. They take them into consideration a lot. I'm always thinking about you. They get that good morning
Yeah.
text. They get that good night text. Like I I understand, but I don't think that's very good
Right.
because there's a quote I like. There's the quote it goes, when in war,
Hmm.
people want peace, but when in peace, people want war.
Hmm.
And I say that comes in this scenario too. People could be like, I want all physical, and
Hmm.
then they're like they feel used, and
Hmm.
then I want it all emotional, and
Hmm.
then they say, while I'm not getting my needs met or whatever it may be. So I think
Right.
always in life there has to be a balance.
A
And
balance.
I don't think in that scenario where they have sex or whatever
Mhm.
and they're not physically attracted to them, that seems really weird to me.
Really weird.
Really weird. Like something's off, something's amiss, something is not right, you
Mhm.
know?
Right. And I don't know the term, but I know there are people that who they're just attracted to the mental. Like they're not attracted to
Mm,
like, just the mental is what is like their driving force of, being
Hmm.
romantically connected with someone is the mental. Or do you think there has to be a, like you said, like a balance of both to really make a long-lasting relationship work?
I would say it has to be, yes, it has to be both because let's say all right, people always say this, like they kiss somebody and they say, "That's just my friend." You don't kiss your friend. You
Kiss
you
your friend.
don't.
Okay.
You don't.
Yeah.
You don't kiss your
Yeah.
friend.
Not
So
even a friendly kiss. Like, oh, like we're just doing that.
maybe on the cheek or something.
Not
I don't know if you're French. I don't know.
on
But
the
but
lips.
like but
Like,
but
yeah, and that makes
like
sense. Yeah.
like if you take away the, let's say there's a relationship, right? And you take away the
Mhm.
physical sense, the physical aspect of it.
Right.
Is it really a relationship? Well, it is, but it's a different, like, it's not a, I guess the word you could say is traditional. It's
Mm.
not a traditional relationship, the one that we are all, the contemporary kind that we're all used to. It
Right.
could be like a relationship, oh, like a platonic, not even like a platonic, but a very, like, no phys, like you said, not physical, all emotional, all, um, mind, I guess.
Right.
And I guess to each their own, I suppose.
Right. And speaking of friendship, do you think being friends first with somebody can heighten the level of passion you might experience in a relationship? Or the level, I
yes.
guess, of intimacy,
Yeah,
trust?
yes.
Right.
I'll
Okay.
let I'll
Yes.
let that talk.
Yes. Yes. And it's funny because I had this similar uh conversation with Jacob because
Mhm.
originally I was like, no, you don't need to be friends. You can just have like the nice passion without the friendship.
Mhm.
But in my
Mhm.
relationship with Jacob, I learned how much friendship is also important
Mhm.
in a relationship. You know,
Mhm.
you have like like the physical intimate, but you also need that friendship to
Right.
make that relationship strong. You know,
Right.
and I always have this saying now, like how strong your friendship is with your partner will
Mhm.
determine how strong your relationship is.
Mhm.
Because you know, at the end of the day, this is the person that you want to do life with, you know,
Right.
do your future with.
That's true.
And if you don't have a strong friendship foundation, I think it's going to go into like this rocky start because you're
Mhm.
only going to see them in like this maybe like this loving way, but you can't really talk to them as
Mhm.
someone you need a friend. So I
Right.
think there's an issue.
Right.
And I have previous relationship. I have not started my friendship with them, and it always
Mhm.
went south, right?
Mhm.
But this
Mhm.
man, I started my friendship with him, and it made
Crazy.
the relationship so easy. Even
Right.
with like the whole like
Mhm.
transitioning, it was
Mhm.
so easy. It was smooth. It was
Mhm.
so comfortable. And
Right.
so I really am a huge advocate with being friends first and
Mhm.
then pursuing into a romantic relationship.
Right. And there's a fine line. There's a tricky line becoming like friends with, because it's always talked about like the friend zone. You know what I mean? And I
Yes.
sometimes I think of the friend zone as a person that you're cool with, but you're not necessarily
Hmm.
attracted to, like you
Hmm.
like physically attracted to, or like maybe like you seem like, oh, this is how you treat, women, or this is how you treat men. I'm cool on that, like something like that. But also the saying, like you don't want to be like, I guess not too friendly, but like
Yeah.
you don't want to like be like roommates, with your
Oh
partner
yeah.
in a sense, where you still,
Hmm.
because like the fine line of being like we're friends, but still like keep it like, flirty and cute and,
Hmm.
passionate or whatever. And, just like a healthy dose of just like everything entwined. Because I have heard about like just people just like become roommates. Like they lose all the passion,
Mm,
all the intimacy, all the and I believe those are things that you definitely do have to work at like in a relationship, like to keep it hot, to keep it spicy because like I said, 20, 30, 40 years, it's things can be like, you gotta, keep it fresh in whatever way that is fresh for you. And I'm a firm believer in that. So what was you guys' first date?
I'll let him tell you. I'll let him tell you.
Well, okay. Our first date was
What was our
in
first date? No,
it was in an Indian restaurant. It was
Hmm.
in an Indian restaurant, and
yes.
that was our first date. And I'm not a big food person. Like I'm one of those people.
Okay,
I'm
what
not a
else?
big food person. I'm not foodie. I'm not whatever.
Right.
I was like, I guess. But okay, so we were in our first day, and I was being normal.
Right.
I was being normal. I was like talking to Bev, and then
Right.
towards the end of the day, like we ate whatever. Towards the end of the day, it's like, why didn't you talk to me about any like or like partner stuff, like dating stuff, like romantic stuff, like and I was like, huh? That was really weird. That was really odd. And I was like, well, just because we're dating like on a date doesn't mean I must stop being myself. Like I want that friendship repertoire first. I want that
Mm-hmm.
first because I I Bev got in trouble with this. Well, not trouble, but
Yeah.
I was like, Bev was to me, it was kind of like she was trying to rush into a relationship. I was like, well, that's something I don't do because I've
Mm-hmm.
seen a lot of them fail. They don't even they want to talk about all this stuff, but they don't even know if they like each other yet as friends. Like you have to have a certain amount of things in common. You don't find that in the you don't find that on the way, is what I'm
Right.
saying. You have to make a
Mhm.
strong foundation. It's like any building, strong foundation, work your way up.
Mhm.
And I think it's very folly when people do like they just like go like we're in a relationship, go. They do
Right.
the
Yeah.
what are we? The what are we talk and then that sort of thing.
Right.
Like like it should be established that yes, you're dating, but I don't think you should do anything different from talking like how you were just because of it.
Right. And I have a question. So
Mhm.
you wanted to start on a friendship level. So how long did it take you to be like, would you be my girlfriend? Like, how long did that come into play?
Well, that's okay. For me and for Bev, like we don't do the whole I'm gonna date like multiple people at once.
Right.
So,
Right.
Yes.
so that's not something
Exactly.
that's something that even came on. So
Mm-hmm.
if for us if we agree to date somebody it's serious. It's
Right.
it's like exclusive, it's serious. It's like why would we again like the trope, why would we waste our time
Why would
if
you?
it's
Right.
not serious, like it's not like marriage and all that thing.
Yeah. Yeah. And so that's a good question. So like you said, do you believe there is a positive factor for, unless you guys have, I'm gonna call it the talk, do you think it's a positive factor to date multiple people, or do you think it's just like a waste of
No,
no?
no,
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 no.
no.
It,
I mean,
I don't
to
think it
each
ever works.
Right,
to
right,
each their own. To each
yes,
their own.
right.
Because I know everyone is different, but
Mm,
I don't think it is helpful.
mm,
Because I have been in a series of doing that, and it
mm,
just makes that person kind of devalued and this whole
mm.
weird comparison.
This is the first
It's
time I'm hearing that. No, just kidding.
and it's like this weird comparison, like, oh yeah,
Mhm.
this guy has this, and who has this, who's that, you know. But
Right.
at the end, you realize that you don't really focus on that
Mm,
person that you're in that date.
mm,
And I grew up in that kind of mentality too, like, oh
mm,
yeah, like you can just date multiple people. But then
mm,
later I realized like how toxic that was
mm,
for me.
mm,
And even like on the first date, I was so used to like the whole questions, like,
mm.
what's your future? How many kids you want?
Right,
What you're doing in your life. I was so
right.
used to that routine
Mm,
just to kind of
mm,
rush it and see
mm,
if like we're compatible instead of just be like, can I be friends with this person? Can I have an
mm.
actual conversation with them? And that's
You
what
actually
I
like them, and I think
yeah,
that
do I like
Exactly,
them,
exactly. Like you're
yes,
kind of annoying.
Right, because and like you said, like I am not a fan of like the whole like dating multiple people because first of all, time is
Mm-mm.
precious. That's one thing.
Yes.
Cannot get back, time. Like I can't, get back this
Hmm.
30 minutes I didn't spent, and I can't get this
The
back. So
$30 I just
I
spent too.
like I'm like, and then I learned like I don't even like you're not even a good person. Like, why am I even here? Like, this is
Yeah.
just crazy. So yeah, I definitely agree with that. And like it's so much pressure, like having okay, John, David, Sam, like which one, John? Like, okay, John, your birthday's October 5th. David, like it's just so many,
That's too
like
much.
so much. So, and like you said, like you are not like a creator on TikTok that I like. You only need one husband, one wife, one, prayerfully, just one. I know what, prayerfully. Just one. Okay. So, and that's like the rule I live by. Like I don't need to impress. Like I just need one. Like I know, like my partner would not say this. And I know off the back, like what I want, like what I know, like, okay, my partner wouldn't say this. Like, no, my
Mm.
future
It's
spouse.
like that. It's like that one meme where they tell you something and you realize they're not going to be your future husband or wife, and you're just sad. You're
It's just
sad,
like,
like
you're
just
just
waiting
like,
for it to be over.
yeah, it's like, their sentence you just said,
Yeah,
this
exactly.
is
Or their past or whatever.
exactly. Oh yes, like like okay, this is yeah it. Speaking of their
Hmm.
past, do you think that matters when dating? When dating?
Yes, yes,
Yes.
yes.
Ooh.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so
Yes.
Anyone
when
who doesn't say so is lying.
It's
They're
so
liars.
you
so
need to know their past, but
like
not as in
as
the sense
mm,
of like, oh, you did this, like they
mhm,
can't change. It's just more so understanding where they come from, understanding their
mm,
background, how
mm,
they think, or what they're trying to heal from. Like
right.
I know, like for example, like I grew up in a family where with my parents, they're healed and everything. My family's
Yeah.
healed, but with a lot of infidelity,
Okay.
right? And so I realized, like, with that traumatic
Mhm,
experience, I held it and
mhm,
think like, and it made me very protective and kept this
mhm,
wall and made me think like this is how my partner has to be because I don't
mhm,
want to avoid that pain. And
right.
so when I'm carrying that load of my past and I'm like
Mhm,
giving it to my partner now my partner has to understand like, hey, these are my triggers, and then
mhm,
it sets this conversations of having boundaries,
right.
having that healthy mindset of understanding who I am. So
Right.
the past is not a way to just eliminate a person.
Mhm,
It's to understand who this person is and if you can handle that.
mhm,
You know what I mean? And
right.
so that's where I think past is very vital.
Okay, so
And
what you're saying is that I like if I go on a date, I shouldn't like be like, so have you ever cheated? Like, should I just like if that's one of my deal breakers? Because I feel like if you're cheated, then you lied. Because there's no way you cheated.
No, but then they say like, yes, but
And then
yes.
I
Let me
learned
tell
something
you
about that,
why.
yeah, because it's like it cancels out no the button offs and yes, you
Mhm.
can't cancel out. Like so, like I guess for deal breakers, I guess like you said, everybody has their deal breakers. So if I say, oh, have you ever cheated? And you say, yeah, I'm like, and then I automatically get this wall, just like, okay,
Mhm.
what made you do that? Like, and I guess
Yeah.
like in a way, like my mind automatically goes to like I'm trying not to judge, but in a sense, I'm kind
You
of
are. You are judging.
You
You are
are
judging.
judging.
because it's like so. So
It's
you told
it's
your
like
person you're gonna go to the grocery store, but instead you went over to this house and did a little dun dun dun, and then you was like, "I'm back with the milk." Like, how did that go? Like, how did like? So I'm like, okay, because that's one of my biggest thing, liars. I don't like liars. And I try like, like a little lie, like, hey, like my birthday, like, yeah, I'm glad, but don't lie to me about like, so you're a liar? Like, that's one of my biggest things. And like you said, I guess like there's this way just like to end it, like if that's one of your like triggers is like lying or people that lie, you could just like cut that off. Cause I'm like, yeah, lying is one of my biggest and I'm so big on a person having valor and, being a person of integrity like that. The older I become, I always been like that, but the older I become, the more I'm like, yeah, like integrity is so, 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 so important to me. I want to trust you in front of my face and then behind my,
Mhm.
you know what I mean? I don't want to like deal with like, oh, okay, so you're you out of my sight. You on social media DMing whoever, and I gotta worry about like, oh God, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I don't want to worry about that. And and things like that. So yeah, that's a good point you brought up, Beverly. That's so true. Um, do you think asking a person how many people they have had sex with, do you think that's going a little bit too far? Is that going a little bit too far? Like is
Mm, I don't think so.
yeah, okay.
I don't because even that's telling you something, all
Hmm.
right? Even that tells you, all right, all right, there, I don't see, okay, this is kind of controversial, but I don't see a difference between like hookups
Hmm.
and actual people they slept with in relationships.
Hmm.
Because those two things tell you one thing. Either
Right.
they're okay with that lifestyle
Right. Hmm.
or they had so many relationships that they're all failed now
Hmm.
and they have that like to carry. Let's say I slept with 5 people, right?
Hmm.
And so that means I had 5 failed relationships before then.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
tell you, oh, they were all in a relationship. It wasn't like
Yeah.
a one night stand or anything like
Right.
some of the hookup. Like that still doesn't eliminate that I've been
Yeah.
with 5
Yeah.
failed relationships.
That's true. That's true. And
Yeah.
I always say, and
Yeah. I
and
don't know. For people,
right.
I have an issue with it, but you know,
And at a certain age, like, okay,
yeah.
we're in the late 20s. I feel like if you already slept with like 10, 15 people already at 28, I'm kind of like, it's scary. Like it's first of all,
It's
like
scary.
it's scary. That is
Yeah, exactly.
you're 28. You slept with 20 people? Most people go their whole life. They live to 85, 90, and never sleep with 20 people. You're 28 and slept with 20. Like how? Like I said, like
I
I'm
know. There's like
trying
an
to
80-year-old that's
judge.
like, I did too. Like,
And to add to that, I think it also kind of determines how they see themselves and like how
Right.
much like they value themselves.
Yes, as
Because it makes
well.
me question like if you're do you do you not care about like
Mhm.
that part of like your how do I say this? Like that part of you, do you not
Mhm.
see like your body as like sacred or valuable
Mhm.
that you're willing to give it to like anyone? You know, not maybe it's not just anyone, but like, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
what is how do you see yourself? That's what I start to
Mm.
question because with me, it's hard for me to just let everyone just see, or it's like this weird
Right,
exposure. And I
exactly.
have to like trust you
Mhm.
a lot
Mhm.
to be
Yeah.
like, hey, are you someone that can handle all of this? You
Yes,
know?
yes, yes. It's a
You know?
vulnerable give and take, with the person.
Yeah.
So true. Well, I appreciate you guys for coming to my love table talk. And I thank you guys for being part of my book, Perspective on Passion. You guys is coming out soon. Go and get that. I'm so happy. I'm so glad we, are, just developed this friendship. So I am glad, and I am glad that all of you have joined us in. And until next time, bye-bye.
Bye.
bye.